My first project with Axios was for Alloy Fabrication, who's a custom steel manufacturer who specializes in stainless and carbon steel structures. With doing work for them in the past, I knew the basic processes in which their business ran. And with my database and development background, I was able to suggest developing an internal application using the FileMaker software. This application put alloy fabrication at a new level of efficiency and was able to simplify as well as digitalize the way they operate. Today I am excited to walk you through the finished product. Due to privacy issues within the company, some material within the application will be skipped or blurred out. Before going into the backbone of the application, I want to first simulate what an employee would go through while navigating the app. The main task that this application does is clocking time, whether this be employee time cards or time spent on a specific job. This data is sent to the inner office and is able to be analyzed for future job quotes and keep track of current job statuses.
Like any other iPad, the user is presented with the basic icon pages. First, we select the FileMaker application. This presents the available databases we have access to across the cloud. Once one is selected, we are prompted for user ID credentials. This includes a username and password. Each user, pending their job title, has access to different parts of the application. This is both for simplicity and privacy within the company. Once authenticated OK, we are sent to the main portal menu. This menu offers 5 focus points: administration, employee, purchasing, shipping, and human resources. There are talks of adding a financial focus as well as some other features which would allow the company to have all their information in one application and not have to switch between different applications and FileMaker. For this portion of the demo, I will be going through the employee portal. Once in the employee portal, we will first be going into our time card. Based on our user ID, it opens our personal card with no access to other employees. To clock in, you simply select the corresponding green clock in button with the day of the week that it is. The process is repeated for clocking out, but with the red clock out button. Once the week is done, the total hours are calculated and viewed by the HR department, and payroll can be submitted. The employee also has access to an available notes section where he or she can enter anything from went home sick on a certain day to came in late due to an insert or reason. This allows for HR to better maintain and keep track of employees' payable time. The user is then able to log out or return to the main portal menu via the main menu button and do another task. This takes us to the task of entering time on a specific job. In the manufacturing business, jobs are bid based on quotes. These quotes are based on hours to complete the job and how much money is allowed for each hour. To better maintain this, we set up a menu in which a user can select any job that is currently open within the company. This is something we will cover later in the video, and enter the amount of time they spent on that job and the type of work they did during that time, with examples being welding, painting, delivery, and etc. This time that is entered is subtracted from the quoted time of the job and is able to be viewed via the inner office for an accurate, up-to-date timescale on any specific job. These reports will also be covered later in the demo. Like the time clock, the user is able to enter side notes, log out, or even revert to the main menu to complete another task. Now let's walk through how an inner office employee is able to go in and enter new job information and remove old unneeded information. After logging in, the user is presented with the same main portal page. Here, they are able to select the purchasing portal. In this portal, all information related to purchasing can be found, from entering and removing jobs to current work in progress, and finally to sending out purchase orders. To enter a new job, the user must select the View/Add New Jobs button. This takes them to a file with every job in the company's history. This is nice for referring back to for repeat jobs or jobs that are similar. But for this task, we want to select the Add New Jobs button. This will auto-increment to the next job number in the file. Once the user enters all the information for the job, as you can see I am doing behind, the user simply selects Add Job to Current Work in Progress. This does a behind-the-scenes feature of sending that job file to the Current Work in Progress menu, where the shop employees can view the current jobs that are open. The user then is able to either log out or return to the main menu. Moving on to the Current Work in Progress portion. The user is able to go in this file and first print a list of all the jobs that are currently open for work. This allows for quick access to job numbers and/or customer information for all employees working on the job. This is also a simplified version that does not show prices and/or hours quoted and remaining on the job. Here, they are also able to enter Find mode to easily find a job that was finished and needs to be removed from the list. Here, I will delete the fake job I made a few steps earlier. There is other information that these inner office employees have access to, but due to company privacy policies, that portion is unable to be covered in this showcase. For purchase orders, I am not allowed to go into the backbone of how this process is done. But you can see here in this sample purchase order that there's 3 areas of focus: the vendor, the shipping address, and also the items being purchased. All the math for the purchased items is automatically done at the bottom. You can also see that this purchase order is able to be emailed and printed out. Now that we have seen how the basic user uses this application to track time and jobs, I want to walk you through some reports that are generated using this information. These reports can be accessed within specific portals related to the content, but for simplicity of this demo, all the reports will be located within the administration portal. The first report is a weekly time card report. This outlines all employees that use a time card, shows their hours for each day, any notes they may have, and their total hours for the week. If needed, the report can be emailed or printed out for records. Within this report is also where new time cards are made. When selecting the button above labeled Create New Time Cards, a script is ran and all active employees are found with the current date and sets the closest Sunday and creates the new time cards for each employee, like seen in the beginning of the showcase. The next type of report is the monthly work in progress report. This allows you to select any month and finds all the jobs that had work done on them during that month period. This is helpful for doing end of the month financial reports. The 3 colored blocks indicate the hours completed on the job. Green stands for 10% under the total quote. Yellow stands for plus or minus 10% on the total quote, and red stands for over 10% of the total quote. This report is also able to be printed or emailed. One of the most useful reports is the job tracking report. This report allows you to select any job and see the complete breakdown of the work done on this job. This includes the employees who did the work, for how long, and the type of work they did. This information is all gathered from the job tracking screen we visited earlier. As you can see, this is another report that can be emailed or printed out. After showing a couple different examples of this, I'm now going to select a job that I know has no current work done on this. This is so you can see the error message that appears in doing so. One of the more simple reports is the employee report. This is used by the Human Resource Department and keeps track of all the employees. Here there are 3 tabs, the first being Personal Information. This is where the home address, phone number, and any information like that can be found. The next is Employee Information. This is where the user login can be found, and this is also where an employee is checked marked for having a time card. That was used in the function that we used earlier in this showcase. Then the last tab is an Emergency Contact tab. HR also has the ability to enter Find mode to easily find any employee. I will do an example of this by searching my last name. You will see 3 results have appeared, and the first being myself, then my grandfather, and finally my dad. At the bottom of this page, HR is also able to select the Add New Employees button. This, of course, adds additional employees to the company. The last report that I'm going to be showing you today is the current backlog report. This is very similar to the current work in progress in that it shows all the current jobs that are currently open within the company. The difference is that this report showcases all the money that is also out in the backlog. This is something that is not seen by normal employees and is only seen by upper office administration. This is another report that can be emailed and printed out for records. The conditional formatting blocks of the green, red, and yellow discussed earlier are also inserted on this report. Like discussed in the earlier features of this application, the user is able to choose to log out or return to the main menu to do another task. This is the same for all the reports. This concludes the application showcase for today. If you have any questions on features that I wasn't able to show in the video, feel free to personally email me at mikestuck@msn.com or visit my personal portfolio webpage at mikestuck.weebly.com. Thank you.